Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology for May 24th, 2022. Thank you for joining me. I do a daily numerology and astrology blog, so let's start with the numerology. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 17, and if you add the 1 and the 7 together, you get the number 8. The number 8 is a number of grief, loss, and sadness. It's a number of prana and breath. It's that place where life asks us to take in life, take in a deep breath, and also exhale, let go of things from the past. So the number 8 shows us where we have patterns that continue to cause our own suffering. Too often we have toxic thought patterns that do not serve our awakening into full presence. All blame is a method to undermine any sense of responsibility and accountability. It is never about what another does. It is about asking the question as to why that particular thing keeps happening. Once we own up to the fact that we keep co-creating a circumstance, that is the beginning point to recognizing that it is us that needs to change. We have the ability to turn blame into gratitude. Blame comes because we want more than is offered in a moment. We get angry when we do not get more, but we also refuse to notice and accept those gifts that were freely given. Today, be grateful for all those things that were offered up and do not think that we are entitled to anything more. People do not belong to us. Many things are not ours because we have not worked for them. When that is the case, we do not know how to manifest them, and even if we did, we may not be able to maintain them. Then they slip right out of our hands, and we fall back into blaming another when it was us that do not yet have the skill to maintain that thing in our life. I remember a teacher saying to another person, the reason you do not have that thing is because you have not put the concerted effort into manifesting that in your life first. We all have to lay a foundation before we can build our own spiritual and physical house. Too many go ahead and build a house with no foundation, and then they blame others when it falls down. Such a path always leads to grief, loss, and sadness, the number 8. The journey through grief always requires accountability and responsibility for our actions. It is very simple, but that simple thing is always the most difficult. The astrology today. The moon intensifies our emotions until this evening, at which point it goes into the go-get-it sign of Aries. Starting today, be gentle with your feelings and how we express them. Realize that others are also standing precariously in their own emotional state, so practice kindness when possible. Sometimes the kindest thing to do is to not respond to obvious distortion. Saturn and Venus sextile giving us a better ability to stay centered and grounded in a topsy-turvy world. Value those tools and techniques that give us a steady approach to the challenges. Know that those that are constantly responsible for actions and promote caring and concern without anger and resentment are those around us at this time that we want. Choose to be around those that are careful with money and supportive of making choices without the reactivity that is so rampant at this time. As Mars moves into Aries and connects with the moon in Aries, it will seem as if our courage is on the surface and we are more ready to do what is necessary. Actions of all sorts are favored, and it will keep us on task and confident of a positive outcome. While this is mostly positive, know that some can fall into the shadow of this pattern that may lead to impatience, negative impulsive actions, mindsets that are rigid and that need to be constantly validated, a lack of self-reflection, and a lack of responsibility for how we are co-creating the reality that challenges us. It is always best to use this dynamic force of these two planets to be enthusiastic in our approach and to do it for ourselves and the spiritual progression of our soul. Thanks, everyone.